Imagine waking up one day to realize that nearly everything you've been taught about money is a lie, that the system is rigged against you, and the people at the top are getting richer, not because they're smarter or work harder, but because they understand a simple concept that you don't: the power of compound interest. It's a concept that's so powerful, it can make the rich richer, while keeping the poor stuck in a never-ending cycle of debt and financial struggle. In fact, a study by economist Edward Wolf of New York University found that the top 1% of earners in the United States now hold more than 40% of the country's wealth, while the bottom 90% hold just 27%. This is not just a matter of income inequality, but a symptom of a much deeper issue, one that's rooted in the way we think about money and the way the system is designed to keep us in our place. But here's the thing. It's not just the wealthy who understand the power of compound interest. Researchers like Anna Maria Lusardi of the George Washington University School of Business have found that even people with moderate incomes can build significant wealth over time if they start early and are consistent in their savings. The problem is, most people don't start early and they're not consistent. They're stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck with no clear plan for the future. And that's exactly what the system is designed to keep them doing. As psychologist Daniel Kahneman of Princeton University has shown, our brains are wired to prioritize short-term gains over long-term benefits. We'd rather have a small reward now than a larger reward later. And that's exactly what the credit card companies and lenders are counting on. They know that if they can just get you to focus on the short-term benefits of their products, you'll never stop to think about the long-term costs. And that's how they make their money, by keeping you in debt and using the power of compound interest to their advantage. Now, let's talk about how compound interest actually works. It's not rocket science, but it's amazing how many people don't understand it. Essentially, compound interest is the idea that the interest you earn on your savings or investments is added to the principal amount, so that the interest earns interest on itself. Over time, this can create a snowball effect, where your wealth grows exponentially. But here's the thing. Compound interest can work both ways. If you're saving and investing, it can help you build wealth over time. But if you're in debt, it can keep you stuck in a cycle of payments that seem to never end. And that's exactly what's happening to millions of people around the world. They're getting caught up in a cycle of debt, with credit card interest rates that are so high, they'll never be able to pay off the principal amount. A study by researchers at the University of Michigan found that people who are struggling with debt are more likely to experience stress, anxiety, and depression. And it's not just the debt itself that's the problem. It's the feeling of being trapped, with no clear way out. That's why it's so important to understand how compound interest works and how to use it to your advantage. By starting to save and invest early, and being consistent in your efforts, you can create a snowball effect that will help you build wealth over time. And it's not just about the money. It's about the freedom and security that comes with it. When you have a cushion of savings, you're able to take risks and pursue opportunities that you might not have been able to otherwise. You're able to live life on your own terms, rather than being stuck in a cycle of debt and financial stress. But here's the thing. The system is not designed to make it easy for you to build wealth. In fact, it's designed to keep you in debt and to make it as difficult as possible for you to get ahead. That's why it's so important to educate yourself and to take control of your finances. You can't just rely on the system to take care of you. You have to take matters into your own hands. And that means learning about compound interest and how to use it to your advantage. It means starting to save and invest early and being consistent in your efforts. And it means being willing to take risks and to pursue opportunities that might seem scary or uncertain. Because the truth is, the only way to get ahead in this world is to be willing to take control of your finances and to use the power of compound interest to your advantage. As we've seen, the power of compound interest can be a powerful tool for building wealth, but it can also be a recipe for disaster if you're not careful. And that's exactly what's happening to millions of people around the world. They're getting caught up in a cycle of debt with no clear way out. But it doesn't have to be that way. By understanding how compound interest works, and by taking control of your finances, you can create a brighter future for yourself and your loved ones. And that's exactly what we'll be exploring in the second half of this video. The ways in which you can use compound interest to your advantage and build the wealth and freedom you deserve. But for now, let's just say that the key to unlocking your financial future is to start early, be consistent, and always keep your eyes on the prize. As we've established, Compound interest is a powerful force that can either work in your favor or against you. The wealthy understand this concept and use it to their advantage, while the less fortunate often find themselves stuck in a cycle of debt. But it's not just about being smart or lucky. It's about making informed decisions and taking control of your finances. A study by researcher Anna Maria Lusardi found that financial literacy is a key factor in determining one's ability to accumulate wealth, with those who are more financially literate being more likely to invest in the stock market and have higher returns on their investments. This makes sense when you think about it. If you don't understand how compound interest works, you're unlikely to make the most of it. And that's exactly what the wealthy are counting on. They know that the average person won't take the time to learn about personal finance, so they'll just keep on accumulating wealth while the rest of us struggle to make ends meet. But it doesn't have to be that way. By educating ourselves and making smart financial decisions, we can start to build wealth and break free from the cycle of poverty. For example, imagine you're 25 years old and you start investing just $100 per month in a high-yield savings account. Over the course of 40 years, that money can grow to over $100,000, thanks to the power of compound interest. Now, let's talk about another study that sheds some light on this topic. Researcher Daniel Kahneman found that our brains are wired to make financial decisions based on short-term gains rather than long-term benefits. This is known as the present bias, and it's a major obstacle to building wealth. We'd rather have a smaller amount of money now than a larger amount later, even if it means sacrificing our long-term financial stability. But the wealthy know how to overcome this bias. They think in terms of decades, not days or weeks. They're willing to make sacrifices in the short term in order to achieve their long-term goals. And that's exactly what we need to do if we want to build wealth. So, how can you start to make the most of compound interest and build wealth? First, start by educating yourself about personal finance. Read books, articles, and online forums to learn more about investing, budgeting, and saving. Don't be afraid to ask questions or seek out advice from financial experts. Second, start investing in a diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, and other assets. This will help you spread out your risk and increase your potential returns over the long term. Third, avoid debt like the plague. High-interest debt, such as credit card balances, can quickly add up and prevent you from building wealth. Instead, focus on paying off your debts and building up your savings. For instance, let's say you have a credit card balance of $2,000 with an interest rate of 20%. If you only pay the minimum payment each month, it could take you over 10 years to pay off the balance, and you'll end up paying over $4,000 in interest alone. But if you pay more than the minimum payment each month, you can pay off the balance in just a few years and save thousands of dollars in interest. That's the power of compound interest working against you. And it's exactly what the wealthy want to happen. They want you to be stuck in debt, so they can keep on accumulating wealth while you're struggling to make ends meet. But it's not all doom and gloom. By taking control of your finances and making smart decisions, you can start to build wealth and achieve financial freedom. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen overnight. But if you're willing to put in the work and make some sacrifices, you can start to reap the rewards of compound interest and build a brighter financial future. Just think about it. If you start investing just $500 per month at the age of 25, you could have over $1 million by the time you're 65, thanks to the power of compound interest. The key is to be consistent and patient. Don't expect to get rich quick, and don't be discouraged if you encounter setbacks along the way. Just keep on moving forward, and trust that the power of compound interest will work in your favor. And remember, it's not just about the money. It's about the freedom and security that comes with it. When you have a solid financial foundation, you'll be able to pursue your passions and live life on your own terms. You'll be able to travel, spend time with loved ones, and pursue your dreams without worrying about money. In addition to these practical steps, it's also important to have a long-term perspective when it comes to investing. This means avoiding the temptation to try to time the market or make quick profits, and instead focusing on steady, long-term growth. It's also important to diversify your portfolio so that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. This will help you spread out your risk and increase your potential returns over the long term. As you start to build wealth and achieve financial freedom, you'll also want to think about how to protect your assets and ensure that they continue to grow over time. This may involve working with a financial advisor or tax professional to develop a comprehensive financial plan. It may also involve learning about tax-advantaged savings vehicles, such as 401k, or IRAs, and using them to minimize your tax liability and maximize your returns. In conclusion, compound interest is a powerful force that can either work in your favor or against you. By understanding how it works and making smart financial decisions, you can start to build wealth and achieve financial freedom. It's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. So, start by educating yourself, investing in a diversified portfolio, avoiding debt, and taking a long-term perspective. With time and patience, you can start to reap the rewards of compound interest and build a brighter financial future. If this helped you think about money differently, subscribe. I post new finance insights every single day. And if you want to go even deeper, check the link in the description for the Little Book of Common Sense Investing by Bogle. It changed how millions of people think and act.